He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Say hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and welcome to the slap. Don't mind me. We working this list down. I think we done. No, we still have 3 pages. We still have 3 pages of stories. Anyway, so remember, I told y'all, I keep saying remember, but for those who are new to my channel, welcome. Or this is your first time seeing my videos, one of my videos, and you just happen to click on this video, there are quite a few story times. There's quite a few playlists, but they all mesh it together. So when I say remember, I told y'all, I'm talking to the people who like watch. So don't feel some type of way. Just pretend you remember. So remember I told y'all in the previous stories how we lived like in my neighborhood. It was a bunch of kids, and in the a raise or no fight, like the cool kids sat on the back of the bus. Well, I won't say they was cool, but I just well. Yeah, anyway, the cool kids stand on the back of the bus. We gonna keep it there, no judgment. And so on the back, and I introduced y'all to Matt in that story time. So Matt was a little eccentric. He didn't confirm, but we were assuming that Matt was a tambourine player, but never confirmed or never denied. He could have just been, as you call this day and age, metrosexual, but it's whatever. So Matt mannerisms was very, very, very feminine. Most of his friends was most of his friends was female. Like, he hung out with more females than he did males. But Matt could dress. Matt was tall. Matt was light skinned. Matt had the pretty eyes. Matt had a look. Okay? So Matt would always also, when there was confusion, when there was tea, Matt was involved. Matt was involved. So this particular day, we're riding from the bus. We're riding from the bus. We're riding from school, and the cool kids are in the back, and they're, joning, making jokes, talking about each other, laughing, having a good time, enjoying the hour, because it took us an hour to get from school. To get to the school in a car was 25 minutes from our neighborhood. But of course, with all the stop and goes with the bus, it was an hour. We would get out of school at 3, pull off. Oh, well, was it 30 minutes? No, it was an hour. When she go, yeah, it was an hour. I didn't get home till like 4, 3:45, 4. Anyway, so yeah. So they're back there having a good time, talking, laughing, passing the time to get home. I don't know how it started, but Matt and, we need to give her a name. We're going to call her Jazz. Oh, I did good. Matt and Jazz end up arguing. I don't even remember what it was about. I don't even know how it went from one extreme to the next. I don't know how it went from 0 to 1,000, but it did. And him and Jazz are going back and forth, beefing. He's talking about Jazz's house. He's talking about Jazz's clothes. He's talking about how Jazz doesn't measure up to her older sister or her just the older sister. He didn't really mention her older brother. He's talking about how Jazz, doesn't measure up to the older sister. Like, he's just going in on Jazz. Like, I don't know what they was arguing about, how they even got to this argument type situation. But I'm going to give Jazz credit, because at this point in time, Jazz is holding her own. So she's still, like, she's going back and forth. And at this point in time, like, what ticks Jazz off is I don't like back in the day. Back in the day, like for us, if you said something about our mama, baby, it turned on a whole different side. And what's so crazy is none of the stuff probably wasn't, it was far from true. And these people have never seen your mama, have never met your mama. But baby, if you say, oh, your mama, just saying the words your mama, honey, especially if the people who moms was deceased back then, they were your mama, my mama dead. Like it, all war, all broke loose. There was fire, brimstone coming down. Baby, what? My mama. So at this point in time in the argument going back and forth, Matt goes to the mama. Matt talking about they house. Yo raggedy house. Yo ugly mama. Yo mama on drugs. Yo mama sell. Yo mama this. Yo mama that. Yo mama. And it doesn't help when the people around you listening is laughing. So at this point in time, Jazz is losing because you have hit the mama button. And instead of Jazz turning up, Jazz starts crying. By the time he hit the mama button, we are almost close to our neighborhood. So Jazz is crying. So she was like, I'm going to tell my mama and I'm going to tell your mama. I'm going to tell your mama too. This story is short. I'm going to tell your mama too. Like, I don't know why you would even go there, man. I don't even know what I did to you. She's crying. When I'm saying crying like we're at a funeral. And so Matt is still going off because at this point in time, you won the battle because she's crying and then she's now not talking anymore. So they get off the bus. Again, after school, if you ain't had no homework, like you get out of your school clothes, there was a difference. You take off them school clothes, you put them up, and you put on your play clothes before you go outside. And then your chores had to be done. Your homework had to be done before you could go outside and play in your play clothes. You can't play in your school clothes. You got to take off your school shoes. Put on your play shoes. There's a difference. So I ain't had no homework because most of the time I did my homework. I did my homework at school so I could clean up, so I could be out of the house before before Nightmare gets there, and before my mom get there. Or if my mom is at work, I'll call my mom and be like, hey, can I go outside? My homework's done, my chores is done, I'm outside. Or to be slick, I'll leave a note. I'm outside. All my chores are done. My homework's done. You don't have no questions. Everything's done. So we are outside. We go down to the particular part that was right by the shop. We're right there, and I think we might have been playing softball, baseball. We might have been playing that. We was playing something. Well, anyway, Jazz comes out because Jazz, she didn't stay far. She stayed right there. So Jazz comes out, and Jazz is not. Jazz rose above the situation. Jazz left it on the bus, and we're out like we're playing or whatever, right? So Matt goes, what you doing out here? Nobody here like you. Now, mind you, Matt, you don't speak for everybody. You, that's between you and Jazz. Nobody said that. None of us said that we didn't like Jazz. None of us said that. Now you around here running your mouth, lying, because none of us said that. So Jazz is like, none of y'all don't like me. So we was like, what? So Matt was like, so we all shocked because we looking at you, do all this theatrics. And we like, because we never said that. So Jazz go back crying. So Jazz was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I'm just going to let my mama know that, you called my mama ugly. So she goes home, but then she comes back. And when she comes back, because her mom's not there. So your mom had left. By the time you had came to play with us, your mom had left and went somewhere. So you goes because your grandma stays close. So you went to your grandma. And your grandma was like, who talking? Who talking? Who is it? Who is it, Jazz? Who was out here talking? So Jazz was like, Matt. So she was like, oh, you know your mama don't play that. You know we don't play none of that. You said the stuff. You said that nasty stuff. You said that nasty stuff about Jazz mama. So I'm sitting there, and at this point in time, ooh, what's the bike? What's the bike? The bike was a 10-speed, a toughie. If I'm not mistaken, the bikes was toughie, like the high demand name brand bikes, 10-speed bikes was toughies. Like if you got a toughie at Christmas, you was big time. And I think I had a toughie, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the name of it, because baby, I had a red one. Like I said, my mama didn't have money, but she gonna make some stuff happen. I don't know how she. Anyway, but I had a toughie, so like I'm sitting there, like I'm on my bike, like standing on my, like you know how you, like I'm not standing on the pedal. Of course, I'm not standing on the pedals, but like I'm off the pedals, but I'm the bike. Like I'm just in case I need to pull off on my bike, we gonna pull off, like we ready. So she was like, Jazz, who said it? Who said it? And so she was like, Matt. And so she was like, Matt, you know better. You know better. So she was like, mind you, Matt, go get your mama. So Matt was like, okay. So Matt left, you walking to go get your mama. When you walk to go get your mama, you ain't come back. You ain't come back. Like we sitting there waiting for the action. You ain't come back. So we started playing the game again, because he was like, oh, okay, he ain't coming back. He ain't told his mama nothing. She probably going to end up calling her and being like, this is what was said. This is what Jazz said, etc., etc. So we went on about our business and started playing. So it started to get dark, and I was like, oh, time for me to make it. Time for me to make it. So, what's this the party? Yeah, because he never come back. He never came back. Yeah. So I was like, oh, time for me to make it. Because back then we had, baby, you had to be home before the street light came on. You better be in your yard before that street light said, boop. You bet. I was like, it's starting to get dark. I'm out. So lo and behold, Popular and Matt had a birthday party. They were putting on a show. They were putting on a show. They were doing a salt and pepper routine. They had their outfits. When they first came out, somebody messed up. I think Matt messed up. And Popular didn't even want to do it anymore. She had got mad or whatever. And they was like, nah, just start over. Like it was everybody in the neighborhood. I think it was Matt's birthday party, but they ended up putting on like a show. I promise you. They ended up putting on a show. I think this is like his 12th, 13th, 14th birthday. But they end up putting on the show. They was doing a salt and pepper routine. I'm going to insert a little clip of the routine. So, and they was dancing off Push It. They was doing a salt and pepper routine. They had their outfits. And this is the time when we would wear 4 pairs of socks. Let me explain. So if your outfit, let's just say your outfit was red and black, right? Your socks had to be red and black. And then they had to be like the puff, we call them like the slouch socks. But anyway, because they would puff out, because we were copying Salt and Pepper. If I can zoom in on their style, if I can find it, I'll insert the picture. But, so let's just say, because I was about to put my foot up here. No, I'm not. So let's just say this is your left foot and this is left foot. This is your right foot. This is your left foot. Because that's how it would be, like, y'all looking at it, but whatever. So anyway, so you would have, let's say your red sock would be on the bottom and then your black sock would be on the top. So over here on this foot, your black sock would be on the bottom and then your red sock would be on the top. I think I said that right. Anyway, you would mismatch. It would mismatch. Got me? Red on the bottom, black on the top. Black on the bottom, red on the top. So they was putting on the show. They had their outfits and everything. So they put on the show. Matt messed up, and then Popular got mad. Popular was getting ready to go home, and they was like, no, start over, start over, start over. So it took a while before Popular had came back out. Before Popular had came back out. And so it was getting late. And so I was like, ooh, I got to go home because, again, we got to be home before the street lights. And so a lot of the kids was like, ooh, we got to go. So Matt, mom, what we going to call her? About That Life. Miss About That Life, God rest her soul. Miss About That Life was, she was like, we gonna celebrate this party. Y'all gonna eat this cake. Y'all gonna eat this ice cream. Y'all gonna get this chicken. We gonna have this party. I'll walk down to everybody's house and tell their mama like, hey, I held them over. And if I don't walk down, I'll call. So we like, because Popular had took a while. Like when I said they messed up, Popular literally went home. Popular was like, it was a wrap for her. She was mad because they had practiced this and Matt messed up on his entrance. His grand entrance, he messed up the routine. He had forgot a step. So Popular went home, and it took them a while to get Popular to come back to actually do the routine, for them to do the routine, and then for us to be able to eat and sing happy birthday. So Jazz is at the party. Like, they finally do the routine. We say happy birthday. We passing out cake. Like, we couldn't leave. Like, we had to sit there and eat. And it's dark. Like, the street lights is on. Remember, I live further down. So, I was like, oh. Like, I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. So, but anyway, she was like, don't nobody go nowhere. Like, I'm literally gonna walk with everybody to go to their house. So we, Popular was right across the street, so she went home. It was nothing. It was another girl who was like right here too. She went home. It was nothing. Their parents knew where they was at. So we walk in the first house is Jazz's house. Well, nobody is home at Jazz's house. So Jazz, the next place is her grandma, which was right next door. So we go to Jazz's house. Well, Jazz's grandma house. So when she dropping off Jazz's grandma, Matt is on the bicycle and he's walking, kind of strolling like scooter. He's riding the bicycle like a scooter, so to speak. With his mama as we going to everybody's house. To get everybody off for being late for curfew, because everybody had the same curfew. Street light. Get there. So we get to Jazz's grandma, and so Jazz's grandma come outside. She was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. She's like, Matt, you were supposed to come back with your mama, because remember you was saying how Jazz's mama was ugly and she was selling, and she was on drugs. Now, mind you, it's a group of us. So Miss About That Life said, excuse me? Y'all, I wouldn't even be in the one confronted, but I felt like all the air leave my lungs. And it was like there was this quietness that came upon when she said, excuse me? Because Matt mom, like, she commanded a presence when she walked into the room. Like, you just knew she didn't play. She just didn't play. And so she caught Matt a look. And so she was like, oh, I don't play nobody's talking or disrespecting nobody's mama. What did you say? And so the grandma was like, I just told her. She said, what did you say? She said, because if you are bold enough to say it when I'm not around, be bold enough to say it when I'm here. So Matt is again on the bicycle, like he's sitting on the bicycle. And so she said, what did you say? And I'm not going to ask you again. So he was like you can. Matt was very light skinned. It's almost dark. It's dark. It's dark. It's not dark where you can't see, but it's dark. Like you can tell like the sun going out. Like yeah, it's like it's, you know. So he got to like just looking at her. She said, "Answer me." So she was like, "Oh, okay, so you can't talk." She said, "So I'm going to ask you, did you say those things about her mother?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." Baby. The next, like it was quiet and she was just standing here, but then the next thing you heard was, and he said, "Oh." But when she hit him, y'all, all of us on this side jumped. Wasn't expecting it. She said, "Go home and wait till I get there." And she said, "But before you leave, you apologize to Jazz. And then when you see her mother, you apologize to her mother." "Yes, ma'am." And he rolled back home. So so you went to this other girl house. You told her mama, like her mama was like kind of looking out to kind of like see what was going on. But there was also like her grandma too. She was like, she good. We know she was at the party. She good. And all these kids like right here, they were good. So we started walking. And so she dropped off this one girl here. Like she was like, hey, she was at the party. And so literally the only person that was left was me. Y'all, I can see. My mama was in her house coat at the head of our driveway like this. Oh my God. Like this. In her house coat. Waiting. I said, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Miss About That Life bust out laughing. She said, "No, you not, baby. I got you. So she like, yeah, so she got to my grand aunt's house and stopped. She said, I'm gonna call your mama. And I was like, huh? You not going with me? So she was like, no, I'm gonna call your mama. So she was like, I'm gonna go in here and ask your grand aunt to use the phone, and I'm gonna call your mama. Cause it was like a good little way. So I was like, okay. So she was like, no, you gonna be fine. She was like, trust me, you gonna be fine. So my mama is still standing there. So I get to the driveway and she's like, and I said, Miss About That Life, you saw her. I was like, she said she gonna call you from my grandma's house. From grandma's house. She gonna call you. You gotta get to the phone. So she was like, I was like, so we go in the house, and so she was like, you sit right here. Baby, when I tell you I was counting down, I'm like, please, hurry up. I'm about to die. She's gonna kill me. Please, help. Somebody, smoke signals, something. Please. So she finally calls, because I assume once you walked in my grandaunt's house to use the phone, y'all was yapping. Y'all was talking. So she finally calls, and so she was like, hey, I apologize. I kept them late, and I told her because I wanted them to celebrate the birthday party. She was like, and I told them like I was going to call their parents. She was like, I did go to everybody's house. She said, but y'all live a little far. And so she was like, I walked her to Vivian house. I'm at Vivian house, and I'm calling because I told her I was going to call. And so my mom was like, oh, okay, thank you. So she hung up the phone. She was like, all right. I was like, so she was like, go take your bath and go get ready for school. This is a weekday. So literally, like, go take my bath, go get ready to school, because I'm anxious to get on the bus to see what Matt's face look like. So I'm on the bus waiting, sitting, waiting, because how the bus ran, it was like I would get off during this time. I would get off before them, and then when it was time to go to school, I would get on before them. So I'm waiting because I want to see your face. I want to see like all this, because you popular too, and all this stuff that you be spewing, and you usually making somebody else embarrassed. Like I'm waiting to see, like, is there a mark? Is there something on your face? Are you gonna come in with your head down? Are you gonna be chill? Like what? I'm waiting. So we get to Matt house. Well, we get to that bus stop because it was a lot of houses there. So it was a particular bus stop that they had to go through to all to get on. Why he didn't get on the bus? Why he didn't get on the bus? Apparently you probably did have a mark, but you didn't go to school that day. You didn't go to school that day. And this is why you need to be real careful about how you talk about people's mama. And that is the story time of the slap. Because, baby, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And I'll see you in the next one. I don't think I closed out my other story time.